Joe, what has it meant to have Deshaun with you guys from the get-go this year, and just how different that is from a year ago at this time?
Yeah, it's been good. The offense has been his from day one, really since he got put in at the end of last year. And we love Jacoby, but they run two different offenses kind of and things like that. So we were kind of working on both last year, and this year it's just our offense, the Cleveland Browns offense, and I think it's been really good for him. I think he's building his confidence up, and we're confident in him to go out there and perform.
We've asked you a lot about kind of modifying what you guys do up front to accommodate his skill set. How has that come along as you've gotten through the preseason and training camp here? And are you guys where you want to be as far as preparing for his mobility behind you?
Yeah, I think we've worked on it a bunch. I think with a mobile quarterback, there's always a little bit of uncertainty of where they're going to be, what plays they're going to make. But I think the offensive line and him are on the same page of what we expect. You know what I mean? Obviously, there's some creativity that you can't practice. But we're going to work. We're going to try and hold our blocks forever. Know when to release the block so we don't get called for holding when he's leaving the pocket and stuff. But it's been a lot of work, and I think we're ready to go out there and see how it goes.
How do you mentally prepare for that creativity of how he changes things?
Yeah, I think from a lineman perspective, we want to just block forever. That's kind of your mindset, which is easier said than done. But just have that mindset of like he's gonna try and find the big play, and he makes people miss in the pocket and does things all the time. So the play's never over, and you got to make sure you're finishing your blocks, even if you think it's over. You got to go and try and make a play for him.
I know we asked you about like the continuity on the offensive line, like these last few years, especially, but having that and you guys all, coming back and being familiar with each other, when you have that change at quarterback, how much does that help you guys?
Yeah, it's been big. Most of us have been here for 4 years now. I know Poe just got here last year, but he's feels like he's been here for 4 years now. He's gotten a lot of reps in, and so it's been good. You start to get to know the guy you're playing next to, how they move. Communicate on the field. Some guys you got to communicate more with, but once you start playing with a guy, I think you kind of understand. You have that unwritten, rule of what's going on. So it's been good to develop, and I think we want to take a big step, this year, having, the same group there.
With Bill Callahan, you guys have done a lot of pulling. Getting to the second and the third level of defenses has been a point of emphasis. When you look at some of the tweaks that Coach Stefanski's made to the offensive playbook this year, how much more important are those schemes, techniques, etc., for you guys up front?
Yeah, I mean, Coach Callahan, I think finds a way to get, pretty much everybody on the O-line involved in a pool or in a different scheme. But we've been working on it all, and I think it's important, if we can get guards on corners or guards on safeties, we like that matchup a lot. And it's been good. We have a ton of variation, I mean, you can say, I don't even know what you say our offense base is, but we have a lot of variation in the run game. Some teams only run outside zone, some teams only one gap scheme, and I think we have a great mix of all of it.
We talked a little bit about running against lighter boxes. It's an offensive line, and those boxes are a little lighter this year. Do you notice that? Does that impact you?
Yeah, I mean, when you have 11 personnel out there compared to 13 personnel, you're going to get a lighter box most of the time. And for us, we like the angles. We like the 6-man box versus a 9-man box. But I think there's going to be ways where we can, get a bunch of big guys on the field too, because we still have 3 very capable tight ends that are going to do a lot of damage. So it'll be a good mix, But if you can consistently run against a 6-man box, the only problem is when you do that, they're going to start bringing nickel pressures, they're going to bring safety pressure. So there's different variables that you have to be ready for going against a 6-man box, more of a, base defense out there.
I know it's that you guys face these guys twice a year. So what stands out about that front that the Bengals have? And does it feel like they're starting to have the same continuity in their front that you guys have with your front?
Yeah, they're very good. I don't think they have a weak link across the board. They have 4, 5, 6 guys that play a lot and rotate, and I think the thing is they all love ball. They just play hard, they play the right way, they do their assignment, and they're talented. They got a good group of guys over there. So it's always a challenge for us to go down there or here this week, but go against those guys. We're playing twice a year. They're starting to know us. We're starting to know them. So it's definitely a little bit more of a chess match.
When we talk about finishing blocks, Does that stand out about their two ends? Like they feel like those are relentless kind of rushers.
Yeah, both of them, Hubbard and Hendrickson, they both go to the end of the whistle. They play hard. They're both very talented pass rushers, very technical, but they also make a lot of plays on that hustle play. And at the end of the day, if it says sack, you get a sack. You know what I mean? And a lot of them are chased down and finish plays. But their moves are pretty good too.
Joel, given the expectations for this team being the longest tenured Brown, do you think that this is probably the most hyped up week one that you've had since your tenure here with the Browns?
I don't know. I mean, for me personally, like, it's exciting. We're excited to go out there and play. Like, it feels like it's been a long training camp. But our expectations, we have an expectation to be the best version of ourselves that we can be, and I think we're going to go out there and play good football. But I don't think there's overhype or anything like that. I mean, if you look around the world, no one's saying the Browns they're saying we're coming to fourth place in the division, third place in the division. So we have our own expectations, but I don't think the outside world has put those expectations on us. But we have our own personal expectations that we want to live up to. I don't care. I got to go out and play football, and if they say you're going to win the Super Bowl, you say you're going to come in last, you got to go out there and block the guy in front of you. For me personally, I got to do my best no matter what, and it truly doesn't matter to me.
Marty was just saying we got the pieces. With all due respect to your former teammates, is this the most talented roster you've seen here?
Yes, I think so. I think if you look top to bottom, you look at the end of the roster decisions, which are always the worst. You know what I mean? Like, those are tough spots, and we're picking for our sixth receiver or our sixth linebacker, in a lot of those situations, which are important, contributors on the team, but it's a little different than we've had in the past.
Joel, we've heard about how different this offense is going to be. How different is it for you up front? How different is it for you in the run game? Like, it seems like you're doing some different things back there. How does that affect you?
Yeah, there's some differences. There's some different play calls, different ways we're kind of framing things. But for me, a lot of it is you got to block, certain techniques in the way before. So a lot of the plays are structurally maybe slightly different. But for us linemen, like, we're kind of blocking it the same way. It just might be a little different angle or, different quarterbacks running with the ball or the receivers getting the ball instead of necessarily Nick or a normal thing.
How much did those last 6 games, Master Joel, help you get ready for how Deshaun steps?
Yeah, it's part of it. I think you learn. I think it's always going to be a little bit of a question mark. You never know quite when it's going to happen, but you at least learn how he's in the huddle, how he's finishing plays, the way he acts on the field, like all those things. As much as you can play with a guy, I think you learn them better and better.
So how much is in your head the fact that you play all 3 division opponents in the first 4 weeks?
I personally, I know that's a thing, but I've just been focused on the Bengals right now, and so it's part of the schedule. We know we're the only team that plays them in the first 4 weeks, but right now we're focused on the Bengals, and then we have, extra day to get ready for Pitt after the game.
Joel, when Browns used a lot of empty in the preseason games, looks like it's going to be more than we've seen in the past. The ball's got to get out of the quarterback's hands a lot quicker in that. So is that a little easier, the empty formation for the linemen?
It really depends on what the look you're getting. I mean, I think it clears things up a little bit more. There's not as much disguise they can do when you have an empty because they have to go cover the guys. But teams have gotten better at putting 6 guys on the line and backing guys out and stuff depending on where you're sliding. So there's challenges to it, but it definitely clears the picture, I think, pre-snap.
Going back to that early part of the schedule, how do you balance kind of that sense of urgency with also understanding it as a 18-week season? It's a long year.
Yeah, it's definitely long. I think we have urgency though. I think the guys want to go out there and compete and get ready to go. But we know it's a long season. 17 games. You don't win or lose it in the first week. But I think we're excited to get out there and play as a team to start the year off.
How good of a litmus test is it for you guys for those first 2 weeks to go against a Super Bowl?
Yeah, they're very good. They've done a lot of good things. They've made it far in the playoffs the last couple of years. They're one of the better teams in the league. So for us, it's a great test.